So this is an experiment of doing a podcast while driving up to Ray's. Basically just recording the conversation that we have on the way up. Uncut, unscripted, unsupervised. It could suck. It might not. Let me know.
Trying to talk shit about anyone.
Yeah, we definitely want to censor our crap talking about everybody. We gotta save that for when the recording's off. Hope we didn't forget anything.
Yeah.
We're on our way to Ray's. You got a giant box of goldfish.
I've always wanted to buy one. I was thinking of buying that. It's like a super...
I'm an adult now. I can do this.
It's like the super mega size.
That's like one time I saw that if you go into Walmart on like a weekend or like after whatever time, they got cakes out on sale, like cheap. So I self-checked out a cake and I took a picture of it and posted it on Instagram and said, buying a cake because I'm an adult and I can eat whatever I want or something like that.
Back when you ate sugar a lot more.
back before I went full out health nut.
Yeah.
But not really.
Yeah. Sometimes.
What?
Only sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta splurge, man. Marcus just texted me. Said I was gonna try and make it up, but I'm still sick from the flu. Oh, how rude of me. We're doing this thing and I didn't even say who I'm with. I'm with Brian Horecky of Indiana. He lived in Ohio for a brief moment. Moved back to Indiana for a job that he quit.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bitter. That's funny.
Yeah, it's complicated, you know. It was a good couple of years, though.
You can do whatever you want. You live right next to your family, so
yeah.
can't really be mad. I hope that the roof rack doesn't ruin this audio.
Does the roof rack like
It whistles because I need to put a piece of metal across the front or wood or something.
The roof rack's awesome, though.
Yeah, but it needs a floor.
Oh, it's just kind of
There's
like
a tractor hauling like a Bronco.
Oh my god.
It is a tractor hauling a Bronco.
Flat tone it.
This is what you see in middle of nowhere, Ohio.
Yeah.
This thing gets so warm so fast too.
That's good.
Yeah, I like it. Oh man. Making our way downtown.
Yeah. It's 11:30.
Yeah, it's 11:30.
It's gonna be like the earliest.
It's gonna be an early raise day for us. For sure. This banana's kinda right on the edge.
Oh, that's how I
Throw
like
that
it.
out the window.
That's how I like it.
You want some?
No, I'm good. When it's like got the brown on it.
Yeah.
It's best.
Have some banana.
Wait, can I throw it at a car?
No, you shouldn't throw it in a car.
Like Mario.
There's no one behind us.
Alright.
Oh my gosh, trying to get me in trouble.
It's like the game, Super Mario or whatever.
Yeah, we're playing Super Mario in real life with real cars, with real people.
Let's do it.
Send it. I just like made a mark on my window.
Did it?
It hit the back
I
of
see it. It's all like... So that's the roof rack?
Yeah, the roof rack is whistling. It had a 2x4 like frame around it, or 2x6, but I felt like it was causing too much drag.
Yeah.
So I took it out of there.
Yeah, that's definitely makes a big difference.
Yeah, I didn't want to have any drag on it. Make it give me worse gas mileage. And like, I also figured out recently that I can like get up to speed if I know that I'm going to be stopping somewhat close, and just put it in neutral and coast all the way to the stop sign. I feel like that's going to save me a lot of gas too.
Yeah.
Like right here, we're rolling down a hill. I don't need to be in gear to go down this hill.
Well, if you're in gear though, and you're off the gas, then it will brake for you a little bit and save you a little bit of wear and tear. You can use the braking. Yeah, this time when I was pulling in here, I was like, I do not want to make that mistake. Last time I was so tuned.
Yeah.
I took the wrong turn.
Oops. How's my driving with standard?
It's good. You can't even hardly tell.
I'm not that bad. That's because when I drive with Victoria and I'm like doing bad, she's like, what, do you not know how to drive?
Well, yeah, that's what I noticed. I don't care about because I know when it's coming and stuff.
Yeah.
So I drive like, I'm not like super smooth. And then like when my girlfriend's in the car, I'm just like, oh yeah, I shouldn't
think about it.
I have to drive like such a dick.
Yeah, she always like freaks out about my driving like that. I'm like, it's the car. Yeah. It's a standard. I don't know what to tell you. That's why I got super smooth with it. So it's like, you can't even tell it's shifting sometimes.
Yeah. Is it a 5-speed?
Yeah.
5-speed's the best. I have my other two cars are 6-speed now.
Yeah.
And it's like unnecessary. You don't really need, like in the Corvette, both cars, I never use 5th. Like,
yeah.
You're not gonna ever. I just always go like 1, 2, 4, 6, or like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just go to 6.
Interesting.
5th's not gonna really gain too much.
Were you talking about the Datsun, or did you get a different car?
The Datsun and the Corvette, both
That's what I thought.
They have the same 6-speed.
Yeah. That's what I thought. This just turned into a car podcast.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's kind of the whole point of this, is just whatever gets talked about. I like that. Oh, dude. You got any plans today?
Not really. Kind of last time I was here, did everything not everything. The one thing I tried, I couldn't really do.
Yeah.
I don't think I might try that a couple times at a foot gym.
Just to see if it happens.
Yeah. See if it's like easier. But that was hard. I mean,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know if it's worth it. After we watched the video again last night, I felt like the foot jam was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen anyone do that. And
yeah, when we watched it, it was like
sweet.
It just didn't feel like it needed to be one-upped at all.
Yeah.
There's gonna be so many people there today. Like, we're gonna get there, probably gonna see people, and then we're gonna go ghost to go film around the whole place.
Well, we're gonna get there at like 12:30 though. There won't be like hardly anyone.
Well, the one dude who messaged me earlier, I guarantee he's already there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I told Cody Dixon we'd be there around 12 or 1, but I told him we were going to be filming something all over the place. So I don't know about that. Barnes is going to be there. I didn't give him a time for sure, but he always gets there early. I feel like he could, like, go with us, though. You know?
Yeah.
He'd be someone good there. But at the same time, I don't know.
But he always likes to leave early.
Yeah. I almost feel like it's better with just 2 people to do that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, because it'll get complicated and
right, I don't
crowded.
I don't want that.
Like where we are and stuff.
Just, I want to go on missions and just get it done and keep moving.
Yeah.
Basically, we're going street riding at Ray's.
Yeah.
Which will be fun.
Yeah.
The roof rack only does it from like 40 miles an hour to 50 miles an hour.
Oh, really? It's like a residence, like right in there, yeah.
It's weird. But I think I have a piece of diamond plate aluminum that I can cut and form. But my dad thinks that it's going to whistle too.
Well, you need to like... How is it mounted up there? Is there like rubber in between the metal where it goes to the car? Because maybe that's where it's causing vibrations.
I have no idea how it's mounted. I'm like kind of scared to take it apart too, because what if we take it apart and something starts leaking or something?
Yeah, if there's holes in the roof and the rack
yeah,
is sealing it up.
I have no idea how it works, so I don't want to mess with it.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know, but I love the way that the car looks with the roof rack on it.
steel wheels that are black. It's just like
yeah,
sweet.
I think it's sick.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess anything up. The roof rack just needs a floor in it, or a bottom to it, because it's hollow on the bottom.
Yeah.
To put bikes on there, it needs a floor, and then it needs that front piece.
Yeah.
Which I thought about just using plywood. You
That'd
know,
be fine for a while.
if the metal doesn't work, because I already have the metal. But I don't know.
This is not like the last time we went to Ray's. There was no snow, and we stopped to road some street spots.
Oh yeah, well, that's gonna be
Right
like
over
tomorrow,
here, right? Isn't it?
Over.
Yeah, but everything's
Back
gonna be wet.
on this road back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's 20 degrees right now, and tomorrow's gonna be 50. And just a couple days ago, like yesterday and the day before, it was negative 10 with a wind chill of negative, freeze your balls off. Dang, we're gonna go buy that kicker that I sent you a picture of. The one that you said you wanted to 3.
Can't recall.
I don't even know how to. The way I want to describe it right now is where, and you didn't. You weren't there. Doesn't help. I don't know how to explain it, but it was just a wedge. And it was yellow. You said you wanted to 3 it to flat.
Oh,
I'm about to get road rage. This thing. That might make this entertaining. You make your mailbox yet?
No, but my mailbox, well, the same color that I powder coated my frame, I powder coated my mailbox. There's just like a shitty little
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but so it was like all nice. I did like the whole thing's teal, then I powder coated the flag black, and then I had like a red end on it and everything. It's really nice. And like where my mailboxes are, there's like 10 in a row. They're all like super shitty.
Yeah.
Everyone's like old and rusty and just like beat up, and mine's like all shiny and nice at the end. And the other day I went out there and I'm like, where the fuck's my mailbox? It's laying on the ground and some fucking kids like knocked it off.
No, wait, or was it the snowplow?
I don't think it was the snow. It is on the end, but I don't think the snowplow would have.
It wasn't kids. It was some old dude who was like, I don't want him to have a nicer mailbox than me.
I was like, what the fuck? So then, and it was like one of the super cold days, so I just let it sit there for a while, or like for 2 days until it was warmer, and then I fixed it, which it wasn't too bad to fix, but it still pissed me off.
That was definitely some old people who were like, this young kid trying to one-up our mailbox.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like, when I moved in, my house, no one ever lived in it, like, so they never had a mailbox, and, like, it was, like, this row of, like, literally 10 or 15 mailboxes.
Didn't you have to, like, file for your address or something?
Well, they just, like, when I bought the house, they're like, what do you want your address to be? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, what street do you want to be on? Because I, like, live kind of, like,
right
my
on the
backyard's
corner,
a street, and my front yard's a street.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know, like, what does it say? And they're like, well, you don't know. I'm like, how do you not know? You're selling me the house. But then... Does
that mean I can just have the property if it doesn't have an address?
Well, yeah, and then it's like 2 lots, and like one was like 11912 and a half. I'm like, 2 and a half? What the fuck?
I have an address with a decimal.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. But then, like, when I put my mailbox up,
there's that kicker.
Yeah, that's sweet. I wonder how the bottom, like, transition is.
Probably a bump, but it would be fine. It's not that big.
Yeah. But yeah, when I put my mailbox on, I had to, like, there's like a 2x10 that runs the whole length with all the mailbox sitting on. I had to get my own 2x10 and extend it. Make a little, so there's like a little extension. I mean, you can't really tell, but it's
that's funny. Wow. So you got to make up your own address.
Yeah. Should have made it like some, just like some weird there.
But did it have to be like between a certain number?
Yeah,
or
it was like, because like my neighbors across the street is like 11912, so I'm 11913.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, but like my parents live on the same street as me.
Yeah.
And their address is like East 750 North, and mine's East South Avenue.
Yeah.
So I'm like on that back road, and then they're on this front road. So it's like, it's really weird. So at first, I always send my like Amazon purchases to their house because I wasn't sure if like the mail lady knew my house.
Yeah, because it's a new
or where
address.
it was. But they can find it now because I sent some stuff there, and it's fine. So
nice.
yeah,
that's funny. Oh, I need some water. Your slushy Gatorade. Oh, we should talk about something interesting.
Like what?
I don't know. Simple sessions going on right now. Qualifying.
Yeah, simple session. I was gonna go.
I was gonna go win best table, but
no,
they decided not to do it this year.
That ain't me.
Oh, you're right. It was what would you win?
I wouldn't win any.
Tallest.
No. Chris Doyle's taller than me. So.
He's not riding. He's announcing. You got to in because you know Doyle and he knows your tables.
Yeah.
You could win the best table.
No. The tables have been sucking lately.
It's because you don't ride enough.
Yeah.
You've probably been riding more than me though.
I have been riding like
twice
since
a
this
week.
last week. Yeah, I've been riding at least twice a week at John's.
That's awesome.
It's like the perfect. Oh my gosh, so much fun.
Yeah,
Perfect setup.
I was riding twice a week, and then I stopped for a minute because going to the wheel mill is a lot of gas, and driving an hour back and forth to race twice a week by myself.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Oh.
So you were there all weekend last weekend though?
Yeah, it was supposed to be just Saturday.
Yeah.
Then somebody offered us to stay in their hotel room Saturday night.
Oh.
And then Andy offered us to stay at his place Friday night.
Oh.
So we drove out Friday night. I did the podcast with Andy. And then we stayed at his place, woke up, went to the wheel mill, and then stayed in somebody's hotel room Saturday night.
Did you guys ride Sunday?
I rode for a minute. That's when I did that, filmed that 5-tap saran wrap.
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
Yeah, I thought that's when.
Because that was like, they were doing the, what?
There was like not many people there.
Right. And they did that premiere of The Way Out on Sunday at noon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were doing the premiere at the wheel mill. So I was like, well, I mean, I'm already here. We might as well go and watch it.
Yeah.
So me and Victoria made a deal. I would only do that one. I was going to do the 5-tap saran wrap and film it.
Yeah.
And I ended up pulling it first try.
Yeah.
So I got to ride for a minute before playing the video.
Yeah.
And then they played the video. It was like an hour long, so we left after that. And we got hungry, so we stopped at this random exit off the highway and went into this like supermarket place to see if we could just get some like bananas and fruit to eat for lunch. And then they ended up having like a like meal thing there. Like they had like pulled pork and chicken strips and popcorn chicken and all this macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes, sides, and all this really good stuff. So just random in the middle of nowhere exit had all that.
PA or?
Yeah, we were still in Pennsylvania. It was pretty sweet. Then came home. I haven't ridden since then. That was last weekend.
Yeah, I haven't rode since last weekend either.
We should both be fresh.
Yeah.
Man, I wish it was going to be dry tomorrow.
I know.
But Simple Session Finals are tomorrow too. I always like watching that. And there's only going to be 12 people in each category.
Really?
Yeah, there's 90 people qualifying for each street and park. And they're only picking 12 of them.
Holy shit.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So you got to do good just to make finals. That's what was funny watching it this morning. You could see how some people just weren't trying. It's like, you're all the way in freaking Estonia and you're not trying to make finals. Because I think people just go out there to party.
Yeah. It seems like it's a huge party.
Oh, yeah. Which is like, whatever. But man, if I went all the way out there, I'd be going to bed early and trying to actually do good.
Yeah.
But I'm also an old man. You're an old man.
I'm a lot older than you.
Yeah, you're an old man too.
I'd be out there partying.
I doubt it.
Because out of 90 people, and they only taking 12, I know I'm not the best.
I know I'm not top 12.
Yeah. I think that's probably, like, a lot of it. Like, their sponsors are just like, hey, you should just go to this.
But at the same time, though, you're riding on its simple session in front of how many people?
Yeah.
I would want to do good and at least try.
Yeah.
Especially because they make videos for qualifying and all that stuff. Like, I don't want to suck.
Hit that thing.
Yeah, that big rail hop. It's got a kind of bad run-up. I feel like this is the kind of town that you'd ride in, though. And you'd have all of the power trip people thinking that they can tell you can't ride there.
Yeah.
I hate riding in towns like this for reasons like that. Like that dude, when you were doing that rail hop, after you pulled it and I was riding, and he set off the alarm to his car.
Yeah.
Came up, or he was just standing there by the parking lot and he just yelled, "Leave!" Then he came up and you were giving him some attitude.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, that guy was so funny. This is like,
why do you care, man?
Yeah.
We're gonna be gone. I didn't even get to pull my trick. Wow.
I was thinking one of these times I need to go over my old house and just check it out. See if my mailbox is filling up and all that.
You should steal it.
I was thinking I should have took it with me, but
Probably should have. You put a lot of work into that thing.
way too much work.
I bet you there's a picture of it on your Instagram, right?
I don't know about Instagram, but
I was gonna say, if anyone wants to see it, Brian made a replica of his house, but mailbox version when he lived out here.
yeah, it was like a perfect like scale version with like vinyl siding and everything, and shingle roof. It had like
Just
windows and everything. It was
super legit.
I got bored.
You got bored because you moved 40 minutes away from everyone.
Yeah. Dang, this thing handles.
Yeah, it
corners.
does. I just don't like downshifting.
Yeah. Keep your speed up. When did you have a manual car last?
I never did.
This is the first one you ever had?
Yeah.
How did you know? Oh, you just learned from Sponge?
Well, I drove his car before. The first time I ever drove standard, I drove all the way home from Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Sponge's car?
Yeah, and then I drove Ryan's car at one point. So I just driven it a couple times, and then saw this on Craigslist and was like, "Yep, that's sweet." I kind of like the idea of a 5-speed car. So the Datsun. Tell me about your Datsun. I don't know anything.
1975 Datsun 280Z. Bought it like 2.5 years ago, maybe. In Ohio here. I just went to, actually, how it all started was Brendan.
Yeah. Did he post one online?
He posted one on Facebook, and he was like, oh, somebody has to buy this. And it was like, I don't know if it was a 240, 260, or 280. They're all like the same. think it was a 280. They're usually cheaper.
Yeah.
But he posted on it, and it was like $1,500 or something. And I was like, I didn't even really know anything about the cars, and I was just like, that thing is awesome. I need to buy that. So I like, it was like a Craigslist ad he posted. And yeah, so shout out to Brendan for that, I guess, if you listen to this. Thanks for posting that on Facebook.
He inspired you.
Yeah, you caused me to lose lots and lots of money. But yeah, so I hit the guy up and I was like, hey, when can I come look at that car? He's like, I got the cash right now. Or I said, I got the cash right now. And he's like, oh, I'm actually just looking for trades right now. I was like, okay. And I told him like what I had. I told him like, just like jokingly, I was like, yeah, I'll trade you a Corvette. You pay like $15,000 on top. I got a sailboat and I'll give you $1,000, or a Mustang and you can pay me $3,000. And he's like, LOL, okay, I'm really looking for motorcycles. I'm like, all right, whatever. Well, I have cash in hand, so just let me know when you want to sell it. So then after that, it sparked interest to like actually out searching for some. And then I actually one day went all the way down to Cincinnati on a work night, which is like 3.5 hours from where I lived. Drove all the way there, got there. It was sweet. It was the first one I've actually ever seen in person. So that was like so cool, but it was like really, really shitty and rusty. And I kind of done some research, and like people said like certain things like you want to stay away from. So I'm like, yeah, okay. And this guy was desperate to sell it to me, like wanted to talk it down. Like he like kept talking himself down, and I'm like, yeah, I'll let you know. Like I can maybe get a trailer this weekend. So then I looked at a couple other ones, and I ended up meeting up with a guy in Youngstown who had one, and it was pretty clean, and it's the one I bought. So
then you bought a Firebird, or did you have that first?
No, so I had the Datsun for like, I got it in like August, drove it a little bit. Well, first thing I did was I took the big bumpers off. There's like crash bumpers on the front, and they're hideous. So I wanted to make it look cooler, so I took the bumpers off, and as I did it, I had to take the gas tank down. And after I messed with the gas tank, the car wouldn't run right. I'm like, are you serious? So I had to clean the gas tank, got it all running right, put a fuel pressure gauge in, got it going, and then it was all good, but I was like nervous that it was still going to mess up.
Yeah.
And then actually, so that winter, I was going to do a bunch of work to the car, like do some work on the motor and suspension and stuff, and then the motor was all fucking up and I couldn't get it fixed. Those motors are really temperamental with all the electronics on them, so I was just like, screw it. And then I was like looking into LS swapping, like putting a all aluminum V8 from like a Corvette or Camaro in there, and I found a Camaro, or it was a Firebird Formula for like $4,500, right? Ran and drive, like fine, everything was good. So I was like, I'll just buy this, take the engine trans out, and then sell the Firebird.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then that was like, I think beginning of 2017, and then I got moved from Ohio in April. So like April to June, I didn't work on the car at all because it was like in Ohio and I was moving and stuff, and it was just complicated. So I ended up getting the car running, everything all good, like in September of that year.
With the LS one?
Yeah. So it was like 9 months, but like 3 months I didn't work on it, but it was a ton of time. Like I had like a logbook and everything, kept track of time, and it was like, I think it was like 250 or 300 hours.
Jeez.
I can't remember. I gotta total it up again.
That's a long time.
But yeah, it was like, and it costs like, I think it cost around like $7,000 for the swap.
Wow.
Because like I sold the Firebird for $1,000, so it had like $3,500 in engine and trans, and then just like miscellaneous other stuff.
How much would it be if you bought the engine and transmission by itself?
You
Is
could
that
probably
fair
get it
deal?
yeah, you can get them a little bit cheaper probably. But the thing is, you don't know if it runs, and you don't know how well these transmission shifts. So that's why I kind of wanted to buy a whole complete car.
Right. You could drive it and feel how it runs before you even. Gosh.
And the Firebird, like those things are so like, they're so crappy, but like it was cool. Like it was really fast.
Yeah.
And it had pop-up headlights, so it was like sweet. Like I remember the first time I got into it, I Ubered over to the guy's house because it was like half hour away, and I needed a ride, and I didn't have one, so I was just like, I Ubered over there, had $4,500 cash in my pocket, and I just like got out, signed the paperwork, and I get in the car, and I'm like, wait, where are the headlights? Turn the headlights on, and it just goes, and the headlights pop up. I was like, this is awesome.
What if only one of them would have went on?
That's a common thing with like most pop-up cars, but
you bought the car and then only one of them went up on your way out.
Well, I wouldn't really care, but so I drove it home and then like did some burnouts in a parking lot, which that is on Instagram, you can find that. And then I drove it one other time and I took it all apart, so I was like, yeah, it's pretty good.
That's funny. Have you talked to Fudger about his? Doesn't he have something similar? Yeah,
I've commented a few things on there and talked to him. Yeah, he has his 240Z, which is more desirable. I believe it's a 240Z. I think it is. His is more desirable, and it's been repainted. It looks really sick. It's like
the green,
olive green
color, yeah.
But he doesn't have like a modern LS motor, like a fuel injected.
Oh, is his swapped too?
Yeah, he has a V8 as well, but it's like a carbureted, older style, a lot simpler swap.
Gotcha.
But he races his, and his is really sick.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Seems like all BMX dudes get into cars.
Yeah.
Except me.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah. For anyone who's worried, this is not about to become a car channel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start racing out my CRV. Even though...
Go all Adam LZM, everyone.
Joey told me that I should put a dual turbo on it. Or something.
He would say that, but...
Because he said that people do that. Like, they take the motors from this car and put them into Civics or something like that, and turbo them to make them go like amazing, super fast.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that stuff though. So the car podcast, you also have a Corvette. You've got. Did you sell one of your boats, or do you have two still?
No, I have two boats.
So, here's the thing about Brian. At one point, he had a work truck, a Corvette, a Datsun, a Mustang, a Firebird, two boats, or one boat at that time, a house, and then another house.
Oh yeah, I did have two houses at once. I forgot about that.
And then the fun.
No, I don't think I had two boats when I had two houses.
Yeah, you only had one boat at that time.
Well, I have a couple other boats, but they're styrofoam, so those don't really count.
Whatever. But so there's that. But whenever we first met, and the first time I saw you ride up to Worcester Skate Park, Brian told me he was homeless.
I was homeless at the time.
Whatever.
He's like, yeah, so... Yeah,
I asked where you were from.
Where you were... Where do you live? And I was like...
Well, kind of homeless.
You're like, what?
I felt bad for asking, because he looked like a normal person.
You don't understand. Like, I'm staying at the Best Western right down the street. Like... Just like I'm without a home.
But he called himself homeless.
I was homeless.
What do you think homeless means? I think it means you're riding from the bridge you're sleeping under.
Oh gosh.
That was a good day. We ended up doing 360 trains over the box.
That was like the
super close.
The weirdest day, because like I was like traveling for work. I was like living out of hotels for like almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So I would be in the middle of nowhere, and I would be like, okay, is there a skate park in this town? And then I'd try to go to the skate park like every day after work, or you know, a lot of days. And like it would be like in small towns, there would be like little crappy little skate parks, and you go there, and there's like kids with like broken skateboards and like the shittiest bikes, and just like everyone's horrible. And I go there, and then, you know, I'm like decent, and they just think like, oh, are you pro, or you do to X Games, you know, are you sponsor, do a backflip, all the same stuff. So like that's like basically what I was expecting. I'm in Worcester, Ohio, like there's no one around here, you know.
Middle of nowhere, yeah.
So I get there, and it was like right after work. It was probably like 3 o'clock. I just like roll up there, and there was like some people there. Yeah, you were there, I think, already first.
Yeah, you rolled up when I was there.
I pull up, and I like I'm not like really friendly, so I like don't talk to anyone. And I like pull up and just like chill for a second, and then like you know, I'm always like nervous when there's people around, kind of too. I'll like fuck up, but I like just dropped in, like was doing stuff like foot jams and like
turn down air.
No, I don't think I did turn down. I think you forced me to do that later.
Oh, well.
But like I did like turn downs, and like, you know, after you see me ride for like a second, you can tell like, okay, this dude like actually kind of knows how to ride.
Yeah.
So then like I think Brant like came over to me, he's like, hey, where you from and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, that's where the homeless thing came out. And then I was like, and then ever since then it was like, I think I got your number that day. It was like,
yeah.
But it was so weird because like, yeah, like normally when I go to skate parks, I'm always the best one. There's no one ever else there that's like decent. It's just like nobody. But like this skate park, I don't know what it was. And it was never like this, like not as much. Like I don't know what it was, but the skaters were even like, there was like Jay and like some other people that I didn't even really remember ever seeing ever again. But like the skaters were like amazing. Like Zach was probably there, and then Sponge was there, and I'm like, and Brant, I'm just like, what the heck is going on in this town? I was like, this has got to be just like a fluke thing that like these guys are just like rolling through here and they're stopped. But it's like, no, this was their park, and they were like all so good.
Turns
like,
out every single person who comes to the skate park is somewhat good at riding or skating.
It was like, what the hell is going on here? It's like, I've never seen anyone ride like Sponge and Brant, and then like you even said, like I don't know skateboarding that well, but I can tell like when there's good skaters.
Oh yeah.
These dudes are like hitting the hips and like.
That was when like Saunier was still riding or skating up there and really good. He's like the best. Tommy was probably around a little bit. Yeah, dude, there was a lot. I remember though the one day after we'd been riding for a while, you just asked me, do you ever have a chill session?
Yeah.
And from that day on, your life lost chill sessions.
Yeah. Yeah, like every session is just like, all right, we're doing this, we're filming this, we're pushing this. It's like, damn, like, I didn't do, and like, it probably made me a lot better because like I didn't, you know, when I'm all by myself, I would not like push myself or really try anything new. Usually I'd be like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
It changes your mentality when you're around people like that. That's how it's always been there. There's always been really good people, and I think that because we were all like around the same level, everybody just progresses together.
Yeah. And then I remember like the first day because I still have clips on my phone right now of me and you. Me and you both 3'd the box, did a train. There's 2 angles of that, and then I 3-turned down the box.
Yep.
Cased it a tiny bit. And I remember because like you followed me on Instagram right then, and it was just like I remember seeing like those clips like that day when I got back to the hotel. I was like, oh, that's sweet, like because I never filmed myself, and it's just like it's always cool riding with you because it's like you get to see some clips later, like what happened and everything. It's like awesome.
Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah.
Still bitter.
Yeah.
I'm bitter because freaking everyone quit riding. Not everyone, but like Danny would ride all the time with us. Now Danny doesn't really ride anymore. Who else was there? Like little JT rode a little bit at that time.
Yeah,
and
little
James
JT never.
He was probably not around when you were.
No, not with me, no.
But he was there before that, and like James moved away right whenever you came. Like right before you showed up.
No, I rode with James.
Oh, he moved after you were there? Okay, so James moved away after you were there.
Because he would just go so freaking high and do a bar spin over that hip. It was like, I can't even go that high on that hip. You're doing a bar spin that high.
Yeah, dude. And like, all of the skaters disappeared.
Oh, and
Jay is the only one left now.
That's the other thing. For anyone who's like, if you've never been to Worcester Skate Park and they ride, you know, those ramps, they're not right. Like they installed them wrong or something. Like at the bottom of every ramp, that little metal piece that like transitions from like the brown deck to the ground, it's like not the right angle. It's like rough. So like the first time you're riding there, it's like, oh my gosh, this ramp is fucked up. But like everyone there is just so good at it, they just like make it like normal. But
it is normal.
It's definitely weird.
You only notice it when you come back from like Rays for the first session or the first 15 minutes, and then it's back to normal.
Yeah.
But like now, there's not really a ton of people around. Me, Cody, Sponge rides still a bunch. James is back and riding. There's a Type R.
Yeah.
James is back and riding. At least he was before he hurt his ankle. So he's like healing back up. Brandon Shear's skating still, and Jay's skating, but Zach is like full out photographer now, so he doesn't really skate anymore.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else.
John, of course.
John is never gonna go away. John at the trails is always gonna be the main scene, whatever there. That's why I can't move. Like, I know that probably stuff could happen in BMX if I like moved to California. Like when that S&M opened up a video position in-house, I was like, man, I could totally do that and be fine. But I was like, I can't do that because if I leave, this is what happened when I left for college. Everyone was riding. That was back when like people like Scott Smith and Alex King were still riding, and all those guys. And like, I left, and then when I came back, not very many people rode anymore. Yeah. People just like quit riding and stuff, and I was like, dude, what the heck? And like the trails stuff kind of, I don't think they slowed down too much. I feel like the trails slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I came back and it was like, dude, this sucks. So I tried to like get everything pumped back up again, get everyone hyped.
Yeah.
And so like now I can't leave John.
Yeah.
If I left, John would be the only one who would dig consistently, and it would just, the trails would just, it would be a lot. It would be too much work. It would suck for him. And I can't do that. You left. Ian kind of stopped riding. Ian was riding a lot for a while and digging a lot. He kind of fell out of it because he hurt both of his wrists and both of his ankles, I think.
Oh, gosh.
He had to have surgery on his wrists, I think. I don't know. Something crazy happened with Ian. Little JT's not really riding. Evan at Canal Fulton. All those Canal Fulton kids don't really ride anymore.
Yeah, Canal Fulton was like insane.
Yeah, Canal Fulton was an amazing little scene.
Yeah.
And then
it just completely dropped off.
As soon as they all got old enough to drive, things fell apart.
That scene was insane.
Yeah, they were all so good.
Because we used to go over there like at least
once a week
or something like that.
Yeah.
Just session all those like shitty ramps and the plastic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun though.
Dude,
it's like the perfect, like just could move everything around and do all kinds of setups.
Yep, and then they all quit riding and
yeah, and Evan, like that dude was amazing.
Seriously amazing. X-Up ride to 540s.
Yeah.
Like nobody does that.
Yeah.
And he just kind of quit. Sucks how many people kind of fell off.
Yeah.
So now it's like me and Cody will ride at the skate park, and Chris Johnson will come out sometimes.
Yeah.
That's like it. Hopefully we can get Danny riding again. Danny hurt himself.
Is he like healing up? Or
I think he's fine, but I think he's just like scared to hurt himself again.
What was it? His ankle?
His tailbone.
Oh.
So Danny, if you listen to this, you better freaking ride.
Yeah.
Seriously.
He's amazing.
He's another one that was really good. Another one of those Canal Fulton kids. They were all so good. And now, like in Canal Fulton, nobody really rides.
Yeah.
Got that concrete, really fun setup now.
Yeah.
And hardly anyone rides it. Oh, there's a cop.
Oh. Where?
Flying by us right now. We should be okay. It's a 60 mile per hour zone, but everyone's going 70. Like this Jeep flying up beside us going the same speed as the cop.
Yeah.
If I was a cop, I'd probably be a douchebag. Like, if someone flew up behind me like that going 70 and a 60, I'd probably slow down, get behind him, and pull him over.
I don't know. Well, he tucked over, though. He must have realized.
How do you miss a cop in front of you? But at the same time, though, you almost have to be lenient a little bit towards speed, because, like, 10 over is not bad. It's when you're driving like a total idiot. things are bad. Okay, what kind of car is this behind us? I see this logo all the time. I don't know what it is. The crown looking thing?
That's a Maserati.
Is it a Maserati?
Yeah.
That's funny. You see a lot of those though. At least I do.
It's like almost looks like a pitchfork or something.
Yeah, it's like a trident.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I got ice falling off my car going into Maserati.
Oh shit. Yes.
He's behind me. It's his fault. Did I ever tell you about the time I watched someone wreck right here?
No.
Oh my God, we were back there a little bit, and what happened? So there was this truck with a little mattress in the back, like one of those small twin, like box spring mattress type deals, just a really little one, and fell out of their car. The car behind them slammed on their brakes, and I'm talking, this happened closer than that red car in front of us. The car behind the one that slammed on its brakes instantly slammed on its brakes, turned to the left, and went straight into the median barrier, like at speed. I watched it happen. We slowed down instantly. I pulled up my phone and videoed as we were going by because it was quick enough to do it, and there was already like 5 people pulled off and stopped. So I was like, I don't need to stop. These people were closer to the accident. I'm good. And everyone seemed to be okay, which is why I filmed it. But immediately the dude got out of the car that was driving and was stood on the median with cars going 70 on the other side. Yeah, Maserati. And he was stood on that median, just like hands on his mouth, like, oh my God. It was insane. Like, I've never watched an accident like that happen.
Should have just fucking hit the mattress. I mean, it wouldn't have been that
that
bad.
wasn't him. It was the car in front of him. So he would have hit the car in front of him at speed because they instantly hit on their brakes.
Yeah.
Rather than running over the mattress or swerving, you're going to break the mattress or you're just going to go boom, boom.
Yeah.
It would have been fine. But they didn't do that and caused a gnarly accident. It was insane.
One time I was in the Mustang and I was driving down 65 going south to like school or work or something down there. And there was a semi truck that was just like there was no, didn't have a trailer behind it. It was just going, and it had an extension ladder, like a 10-foot extension ladder behind it, and the ladder fell off. As I was like passing this guy, the ladder like fell off completely 90 degrees to where I was on the ground.
Did you jump it?
I just jumped it. And it's probably like 3 or 3.5 inches tall.
Yeah,
so it was just
it was okay.
Boom, boom. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have 4 flat tires.
That's scary.
It was not. I like pulled over and like checked everything out. And everything was good, but I was like,
man, that's
shit.
insane.
And I was going like probably 70 miles an hour, 75. Like,
did Sponge ever tell you a story coming back from Florida with the semi-trailer?
no.
He was beside or behind a semi that's trailer came disconnected from the semi on the highway.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but it ended up being okay, I guess, and he got around it. And apparently the semi got off to the side just fine and no one wrecked or anything. But like, dude, that's scary. When I can remember being little and we would always go down to our camper at Tappan Lake, and we were behind this truck hauling a boat, and the boat came unattached from the truck, but it had chains. So this boat is like dragging on the highway, going sideways, like by the chains. And you could see like where it dug into the road.
That happened to us one time.
You were in the car that it happened to?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we're driving down to Florida, and we had like an old truck. It was a 98 F-150. It was like, had like 250,000 miles on it when we were driving.
Yeah.
But we drive it down every year. My dad actually went to the trailer place before we left and was like, hey, is my trailer hitch all good?
Yeah.
Like, could you look it over? And they're like, yeah, it's good. So he drives down there. When we drove down there, we had a little boat. When we came back, we had like a little bit, like quite a bit bigger boat. So we're pulling this it wasn't brand new, but it was new to us. Like, pulling it back, and we're just driving. We're like in the middle of like Tennessee in the hills or something, and I'm sleeping. My brother's sleeping. I think my sister's sleeping. My dad's driving, thankfully, because I've been so scary. But we all just wake up like screaming because we hear like loud ass shit. Yeah, it was like, what the fuck? Like I thought maybe my dad fell asleep or something.
Yeah.
And so luckily, like there's like, you know, the two sides where that hitch mounts the truck frame. Only one of them broke. So it was hanging on by like a little bit of, you know, that quarter inch.
So it actually broke.
Yeah, the hitch came up. So it was still connected to the ball and everything, but only half of the hitch was connected to the truck.
Dude, that's scary.
If the other half would have came off, the chains wouldn't even done anything.
Right, because they would have been
chains
gone.
connect to the thing, yeah.
Dude, that's scary.
Yeah.
What happened when we were following the car was it just came off the ball on the hitch.
Oh, yeah.
So it was okay.
Well, and then, so we like left the boat, this new boat he just got on the side of the road, and then we went to a gas station just to try to find like, because it still had, you know, on the truck bumper you got like that tongue.
Yeah.
You could put a ball there.
Right.
So we're like, I think this will work. So we went, we found, pulled into the gas station, we were getting gas, and there was a guy pulled up in like an Escalade.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, I'll give you $50 for that ball, because he had a ball like on his little tailgate thing. Or his, like, bumper. So we just unscrewed it and went over.
Luckily, it was the right size.
Well, yeah,
because there's several different sizes.
There's 2 inch and then like 1 7/8 inches, but most of them are 2 inch.
Still, that's scary too. Yeah. Man, and those, I feel like the bumper.
But then the problem was like the boat was like at kind of a bad angle. It was like, oh, this ain't good.
But you made it.
Yeah.
Dude, we're almost here. Look at that. Is that GT? No, not GTR. It's like I couldn't tell because of the.
Oh my god!
Look at that thing.
So crazy though.
That is crazy. It's like gold and black.
Yeah, it's like
silver camouflage, but it's like gloss gold.
Yeah.
That was a wrap, probably.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet though. I wonder how much that costs. Though.
A wrap?
Yeah.
Less than a paint job.
Yeah, paint jobs are expensive.
At that stoplight, I found that milk crate that I had back there on my way home from Ray's one time. It was sitting in the road, and I always wanted to mess around with milk crate stuff on my bike.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw it there, and the light was red. And I was like, I have to do it.
We had that reminds me, we had these trails in my buddy's backyard. It was sweet. We had, like in the backyard of this guy's house, it was like a super steep hill straight down, and then the trails were down at the bottom. Well, they weren't much trails. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 jumps.
Yeah.
But so we had like built into the hill was a roll-in.
Yeah.
And it had like a little platform up there to chill out, and then below the platform had another platform, and then below that had another, and then at the bottom of that we built like a 3-foot quarter.
Yeah.
So we had a 3-foot quarter built into this hill, and then we had a milk crate. And my buddy, this was like back before any of us, like I didn't ride pegs until like probably like 5-6 years ago. But like he rode pegs, and we had the milk crate set up like on the little quarter and made like a little sub. And
yeah.
He ice picked that, and it was just like the craziest thing. We're like, dude, he's doing ice picks at the trails, and it's like so crazy.
That's awesome.
Those trails were awesome too, because like, so you drop in that roll in, and it was like a real steep hill, and then a big jump. It was like pretty good size, probably like 4-foot lip, and then like 15 feet long. And then so you jump over that thing, and then you had to kind of make like a quick right turn, as quick as you can anyway. And then we had like a kicker. I think it was wood at first, then we made it out of dirt. But then there was a greenhouse. In this greenhouse, we put a plywood roof on it.
Did I just get lucky?
No.
Yes, I did. I can fit in there.
in there.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I could totally fit in there. Bro, we just got so lucky. Front row.
Yeah, so you hit this kicker, and then you jumped onto the greenhouse. Did I ever show you pictures of that? It was a greenhouse, so it had like a 45-degree angle roof.
Yeah.
But you could also go to a berm. So like you kick up onto the greenhouse, ride the greenhouse roof, and then drop back into the berm.
That sounds
sweet. And then you hit this sweet-ass hip. And then you had to like pedal at the kicker.
So we're at Ray's now, and we're going to ride, and then I'm going to continue this on our way home. So we'll see you there. Part 2 continues, or starts, I guess, is the proper word. Let's see. Bro, I'm not good at that part.
That's over, bitch.
I'm not good at that part at all. Especially after riding. Can you get your coat?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of can't
I was
see.
wondering, I was like, I'm kind of cold. And then I was like,
that's funny.
It looks like that's still there. I think they'd be open, though.
I don't know. Yeah. It does look like it.
But maybe.
Yeah, it feels so good to sit down.
Yeah.
So good. And it's like doesn't even feel that cold.
Oh, I know. It feels like beautiful.
It's a heat wave.
Yeah. Tomorrow is going to be like
amazing. Seriously amazing. I keep saying this every time I ride, but it's like one of the best sessions I've had in a long time.
Dude, I can't believe some of the shit you did.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess.
In the beginning, it was just like, oh, let's just do this. And then you did it. And it was like, what just happened?
Gabe, I didn't even know you could do those.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's kind of the point. Don't really want anyone to know about that at all.
Well, I don't know, John,
about it.
He was, what did he say? He was only 20?
Yeah. He's
been like good for a while, because I remember him like years, like probably at that first Worcester Jam.
Yeah, he was.
That I was at.
He hasn't ridden though. He was another one who was starting to, like, he was gaining a little bit of momentum on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Because he was making videos, like, he was making session videos and stuff. But he also was doing 3D printing bike parts. So, like, he 3D printed a stem and pegs and a sprocket and a bunch of stuff. And he'd make videos, like, about it and, like, the process and all this stuff. And they were getting a lot of views.
Damn.
And then he just kind of quit doing it completely.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Sponge did the thing I did, though, last year.
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well,
he did the thing I did, but not the second one. He's done the first one a lot.
I can definitely see that, yeah.
But not the second one.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a lot better that I did the second one.
Yeah.
Because it makes it way more legit.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to be in a rush to get this video done, too. Even like I showed
our video.
Yeah, because like I showed Catfish that 5-tap ice thing I did today, and he's like, "When's your next edit coming out?" I'm like, man, I wish I could tell you tomorrow. It's done. FYI, my section is done. Brian's section is done. Cody just needs to bust some stuff out. I'd like to film a little bit more of John.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get that until trail season.
Yeah, you're right. But, still, we're filming McRae's.
Yeah.
He's got a skate park clip. But, yeah, I feel like once Cody is done, that's when I need to just be like, alright, I'm making it. If you want to get more, let's make it happen. But at the same time, Trevor, too. Like, I asked Trevor to be involved, and he's filming a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like holding off on making an edit. So like, and he always is like, "Oh, I want to make an edit." I'm like, "This is better than an edit, man."
Yeah. Well, it seems like Wargo always wants to make an edit with him, and he usually does. You know.
Yeah.
Like his last couple have been with him, right?
Yeah.
But they must not be doing anything. Is Wargo riding?
He's riding again.
Yeah, I knew he was riding again, but it seems like he didn't ride that much lately. But
not too much.
He never
God,
goes to
I'm
the skate
peeking
park.
super bad. There we go. We're good. Well, he can't afford to ride Rays. I think he's just kind of like more into the photo car scene.
Yeah, he's been hitting hard.
But he's doing really good.
Yeah, they look sick. They look really professional.
His pictures are really good. Getting a lot better at it.
Well, that was awesome that Trevor got his frame fixed.
What?
That he's got his frame fixed.
I thought you were going to say he got that trick. But yeah.
Oh, no, that trick was amazing, but I was just thinking about that frame,
Yeah. That his trick, though, after seeing him pull it and how close he was getting consistently, he could definitely do that regularly.
Oh, yeah.
love seeing Trevor now when he's like gotten to the level where he's like doing tricks that no one else has done and doing.
Yeah, like you said, I don't think anyone's done that except for Pay Masada. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, shoot. And like, I feel like he like studies up on that shit and knows.
Right.
So he's like, it's like pretty good estimate that's.
Dude, I love that he's gotten to that point. Yeah. So awesome, and he's doing it with like. He's not doing like what I do, where like I do a saran wrap in an ice pick stall, and no one's ever done that before, probably. That's like wacky, off the wall, of course.
Yeah.
His is stuff that like Asado did.
Yeah.
Ready to watch Simple Session tomorrow. See some shredders shredding it.
And Super Bowl.
Not watching the Super Bowl. Simple Session's good enough for me. 4 cop cars. You going to jail?
It looks like a little sports car. I couldn't tell what it was though.
You going to jail?
Yeah. Trying to catch me riding dirty.
One time, Ryan and I were going to Virginia Beach, or Virginia, whatever, by Virginia Beach, and we were on 250 going towards New Philly, and literally we were going by an on-ramp, and a car was reversing down the on-ramp backwards, and they were reversing into a Stady who was pulling onto the on-ramp.
Oh gosh.
So instantly lights came on and they were pulled over. It was hilarious. Oh,
Jesus,
somebody just got pulled over there. Right in front of us. Alright, apparently I'm not going to speed. Look, hitting their brakes because someone else is getting pulled over. Like, really?
Dude, I got pulled over the other day.
Really? For what?
So I'm like driving home from John's at his like skate park in Michigan City.
Yeah.
And I'm going through Walkerton. It's like a little town. Like it's actually a town I live in, kind of. But
yeah,
there's like you cut through like kind of a neighborhood. There's like 3 stop signs, and it's like 11:30 at night. Nobody around. And I'm just like I kind of roll through the stop signs because I'm like I ain't got time for this. I get to the last one. And the last one is like 23, which is like a major road.
Yeah.
But like when you pull up to it, you can look to the left and see there's no one around.
Yeah.
So I see, I'm like, okay, no cars are coming. And as I go from like all the way to the left, I start looking, you know, turning my head back straight.
Yeah.
And I see a car in the school parking lot right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a fucking Charger. That's a cop.
Yeah.
So I like hit the brakes real hard and like stop. But so I was like, I'm good, I'll be fine. And then I
pulled you over.
I drive down the road. I'm accelerating so slow because I'm in a Prius. I'm just like going real slow. And then a little while later, he pulls me over. I'm like, what the fuck? I stopped. He pulls in. He's like, yeah, I think I kind of saw you there. You kind of caught yourself when you saw me. You kind of were out. You were kind of out into the intersection a little bit though. I was like, well, what the fuck? Bullshit. So he takes my license registration. And he's like. Brings it back. He's like, all right, man, just yeah, make sure you know you're stopping at stop signs. I think I kind of caught you there, and I couldn't even help but like smile. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll try. He knew, and like it's funny. My girlfriend, I always roll stop signs. Like I look, you know, like if there's no one around, and like I know what I'm like looking, and I'm just like roll it a little bit, like 10 miles an hour, and she's always like, you're just always rolling these stop signs. I'm like, what? And she's like, so I told her, I'm like, what do you? I was like, yeah, I got pulled over. She's like, for what? I'm like, what do you think? Oh, rolling stop signs. I'm like, that's the first time ever though.
That's funny. I've only been pulled over twice.
Really?
And it was when I was like, it was before I even turned 20.
Really?
Both times. The one time I just got home from college and I was like for winter break or something, and I was in Orville in my mom's car because I didn't even like have a car at the time.
Yeah.
Because the first year of school you weren't allowed to park without crazy parking pass.
Oh yeah.
Cost like $1,000 or something. So I just didn't have a car there. Came home and I was leaving wherever I was at in Orville and didn't turn my lights on. So he pulled me over to tell me my lights weren't on. I was like, oh yeah, I kind of haven't been driving because I've been in college and forgot. And then the other time I was speeding on 30 between 71 and Worcester. and he pulled me over for going 7 over and gave me a warning.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because I go 9 over, like, usually, you know.
Yeah, and that's the only 2 times
I got
I've ever been pulled over.
The first time I got pulled over, I was driving from Michigan City Skate Park to LaPorte Skate Park.
Yeah.
And we're driving in my Explorer, and my buddy had to, like, get something out of his wallet or something, so he took his seatbelt off, which he always wore it. We all always wore it. We get pulled over, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, oh shit, I didn't have my seatbelt on. I'm like, dude, if I get a ticket, I'm gonna be so pissed. So we get pulled over, and he gave my buddy a ticket for $20. So I was like,
wait, that's a thing? They can ticket a person in the car.
The other person. And I'm like, dude, he always wears it. He just took it off to get something out of his pocket and forgot. But
wow.
And then the other time, one time I was driving to Purdue, and I was just like chilling, going slow, like obeying, you know, doing the speed limit and everything. I was listening to Eminem, and I'm like, you know, it's like kind of down a country road, like a highway, but like there's roads coming out, like people turn onto it. So there's like a car up ahead, and he's like hesitating. I'm like, if this guy pulls up, because I'm like on cruise control just chilling, and I'm like, if this guy pulls off and cuts me off, I'll be so ticked. So he pulls out like last minute right in front of me, but he goes into the other lane. And I'm like, okay, that's good, he's in the other lane. Next thing I know, he's like rolling up on me, and I'm like, what does this dude think he's doing? So I'm like, and I'm like in the Mustang, which is like not that fast, but like kind of fast, I don't know. And I like throw it down to 4th gear, and he's like rolling up on me, and I'm going like 65 then, and as soon as he like starts getting close, I just start matching him. So I'm like, okay, we just keep matching each other. Now we're going like 85, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna end this shit. And so I just I actually floor it, because we were just like creeping up, and then I just floor it, and I take off, and me and him are both flooring it. I look down, we're going 100, and then he's like 2 car lengths behind me, and it was a white Charger, which I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Red and blue lights came on. I was like, oh my god. My heart just dropped. So then I like start slowing down. I'm going 100, and I start to pull over, and the cop just keeps driving, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And he just left?
He just left, but I was like freaking out still, because I was like another half hour from home, and I was like, oh my god, is he gonna just like pull up there and pull me over later or something? I was like debating on like going down a corn road, like a cornfield, and just going out like down a different road.
Right.
But it was so weird. I was like, so I just raced a cop, beat him, and didn't get a ticket. Like,
literally, that is hilarious. Dude, wow. And you didn't end up getting pulled over?
No.
That's so crazy. One day, Sponge and I got pulled over on our way home from Ray's, because he always flies on the way home from Ray's. We got pulled over, and it was legitimately the fastest stop ever. Pulled over, cop came up, grabbed his license and insurance, went back. It was like he only had enough time to turn around and walk back with a warning. And then he gave him the warning, walked back, and just left.
Yeah.
It was the fastest thing ever.
The other time, this is in Lafayette, and we were going to...
Is this your brother? The story with your brother? Yeah, you told me this one before.
We were going to... I can't think... Oh, Putnam Park. It's like a road course, country club type thing. So, my brother was in his Miata race car, like, not really street legal.
Yeah.
And I was in my Corvette, and we're driving through Lafayette, like downtown, and it was like 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning, because we were getting up early, and it was like a 2-hour drive. And we're driving through town, and I had to go meet him at the parking garage where his car was parked.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I see a cop go by. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then we get out of town, and there's like this brand new highway they just put in, and it's like this huge intersection. And it's like 2 left turns turning left. And we just got to the light, and me and him are the only cars there. We're just like, and he starts revving it up, and I'm looking at him like, no, I don't want to do this, because like my car's way faster than his. Like it's not even like a thing.
It's not even a race.
So like he gets on it, and like his car is loud. Like it's not that slow, but like compared to the Corvette, it's slow. So he's like getting on it. And we're going around this corner, and I'm right next to him. I'm just like matching him. I'm like in second gear. I'm just like matching him, getting to third, and he's just like, wah! It's so loud. And then next thing I know, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna finish this. So I just like drop the hammer in third, and like in third, you go like it'll go 100, but I probably didn't go 100. It was probably like 85 or something.
Yeah.
And he's like way behind me by then. And then I look in the rearview mirror, and I was like, wait a minute, what? How is there a car that like just kept up with, like, kind of kept up with us? Like, there's no car. And then I was like, oh wait, there is one car. And then his lights came on. I was like, oh, fuck. And like literally, there was no one out. But we were at that stoplight, and he was behind us. I was like, how fucking stupid can we be? We didn't look behind us at all. We just raced in front of him. So we get pulled over, both of us. He pulls us both over because we're just, you know, neck and neck. Or like he was a little behind me, but we both stopped. Yeah. So then my brother doesn't even have, his car's not registered. Like, it was like a season where he kind of like got into it late, and he was like, fuck it. And so he had like, the cop had like a trainee with us, or with him, and he's talking to my brother for a while. My brother's car is like so hardcore that he doesn't have windows that go up and down, so he's got to like open the door. The cop's like getting like weirded out, and there's nothing in his car. It's just like a race seat, and that's it. Yeah. And so he's talking to him for a while, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, this motherfucker don't have his registration. He's like screwed. We're gonna get the car towed and ruin the track day. So he talks to him for a while, and then he comes up to me. He's like, dude, what were you thinking? I'm like, we just didn't even look behind you. I didn't want to race. He was just fucking around, and then I was like, well, I'll just like drop it. And I didn't know you were behind us. I'm like an idiot. We never street race. We're actually going to like a sanctioned race right now. Like, we don't do this. And he's like, okay, let me check things out. And then, so he's back in the car for like a long time. And we're like, oh fuck. And we're like,
calling the wrecker.
Yeah. And we're like, so then he like gets us, and he gets us both out of the car. We're like, oh shit, we're getting out of the car, this ain't good. So we're standing there, he's like, alright, and he gives us like a little speech about like not street racing and shit. And then he's like, listen, I would have gave you guys both tickets, but my computers are down, and I got this trainee with, and I can't fix it right now. We gotta go back, but this is your lucky day, but don't be doing that anymore. We're like, alright. Wow. And he was just like, and I, like, honestly, like, afterwards, me and my brother were thinking, like, I think he just, like, made that up, that his computer wasn't working. Like, maybe if it was up to him, he'd go up to the next street light with us and do it all over again.
Let's see if that Corvette can take this Charger.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's funny.
So, yeah, I've raced cops twice now. Haven't got a ticket either time.
It's so crazy. I feel like we should talk about something to do with BMX.
Yeah.
You didn't really like talk at all whenever that discussion got heated today.
Oh yeah, I didn't really want to get into it, but they were kind of being like a little bit, like I was like on your side like mostly, but yeah, the way I described it was the best. So
you just don't care. I mean, that's totally fine.
Yeah. Like, so, well, I guess we'll fill you in. We were talking about that J2E or whatever.
He did the front bike flip, grabbed it, and then did a tail whip, and that clip came out. Yeah, and that's what he's talking about.
It came out, and like they were talking about it, and someone was saying, you know, whatever. But so yeah, we were kind of arguing about like, oh, is that BMX or whatever? Like, it was kind of a stupid argument because it's BMX, of course. It's just like not BMX that we're into, but you know, whatever, you know, do whatever you want. BMX says it's cool about it. But after this whole like kind of heated argument, went on for a while. I was just like, I didn't say anything, and then I was like, at the end, I was like, this is how, like, I guess this is how I would describe it, because this actually happened. So on Instagram, I think like Jamie Bestwick shared it or something, and you know, the clip starts playing, and in the clip he does whatever front flip thing, and then he does like a little tail whipper thing, and he falls. And I was kind of like watching, kind of reading the caption, and I saw like Jamie said like, oh yeah, he did the first ever whatever, and I was just like literally like didn't care so much that I didn't even watch like the next. I don't know if there was another fall or
There was a few falls.
Okay, yeah. I figured there was a couple falls, and I was like, yeah, I don't have time for this. So I just like skipped it. Like that's how little I cared. I got the idea because I saw it, but like I just don't care. But it's like
in the end, the argument or whatever, the heated discussion ended up with the way about saying things. Like my side of things is that you can't say that you believe in freestyle and that people can do anything they want, and then also say that certain things aren't BMX.
Yeah.
You can't do both. Because you can't believe that something isn't BMX if you actually believe freestyle is everything.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about it today, like after that, and I was like, it's not like there's no one who can say like really what BMX is.
No one.
Like baseball is a thing. There's rules. Yeah. This is what you do. There's like, you know, you don't branch out, but like BMX is just like kind of endless and like what you could be doing.
What we agreed on in the end is that real BMX is people who do everything.
Yeah, and also resis don't count.
And yes, this is where we'll take this.
Yeah.
Resis do not count.
Yeah.
I don't think resis count because it's an outside thing meant to make tricks easier for you.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do that, make a dirt pile that's soft.
Yeah. Yeah, like yeah, if you had because like yeah, we would always like at our trails the last jump like wouldn't have, well, it would always be hard like after a while, but like the first couple times we just have it like a little bit soft, which is sketchy because if it's too soft then you land front tire or something. But yeah, that would totally count. But what about like mulch?
Well,
remember like
that's
Travis
kind of the
did
same thing,
the double backflip to mulch.
But what also is nothing wrong with trying tricks and learning tricks into foam and on resis. It's where I am not cool with it is where it's saying that this is a world's first trick that anyone's ever done. Like, I guess you could technically say that because no one's done that trick. But the people that used to, like, back in the day, there weren't resis. So, like, I feel like it's an unfair, I don't know. It's kind of stupid when you boil it down because it's really like, okay, why doesn't it count? They landed it, they rolled away because it wasn't on a hard ramp or
it's like,
on dirt.
Yeah, who really cares? But
yeah, who cares at the end of the day? But I still think that I would rather see someone do something crazy like that on a real ramp.
Yeah.
Like when that dude did the triple backflip on a dirt bike, what ramp did he land on? Didn't he land on something wood or something real? I don't know. He landed on something like that.
I don't know.
It's just one of those things. It's like, if you got it on resi, you got it on a ramp. And like also the fact that like there's not contests on resis.
Yeah.
Other than the one Nitro World Games thing, where it was literally like a nitro ramp with a contest.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, because you can totally send it and be fine.
I don't like resis.
I don't either. I don't like riding them. That's okay, because freestyle is freestyle.
I do like that box jump in the resi room though.
Yeah, if the vert wall wasn't slanted going to it, if it was the same vert wall as to the resi, it would be so much better.
Oh no, I don't like the resi vert wall. I like the other one.
I don't like that one. Maybe I just haven't learned how to hit it right. Because I don't jump that box very often.
Did they get rid of that after that? They got rid of that bank, didn't they?
Yeah, it's a quarter now. It's the same quarter all the way across. Which is kind of cool. I think it might be a little better if they take some of that like black material that Chenga has right beside the coping and put that on there too, so you could just grind it all the way across.
Oh.
Because right now now it's kind of like you have to be perfect to grind it.
Oh, and just coping, no metal behind the coping?
Yeah, just coping and then wood from the deck.
Yeah.
So like if they put something like that there, you'd be able to ice grind it really well. This is the exit I want, isn't it?
If you want to go the same way we went, yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, that was fast.
Because I would never go down this 71. I would go down 77.
Yeah.
Yeah, 76. You go right by the Watson skate park.
Oh, okay. Dude, it might be dry at Worcester tomorrow.
I don't know. It's really damp out. And
Yeah, but look at the road.
You would have had, if you would have shoveled it.
Got a blade on the Steiner. We've done it before.
Yeah.
Just plow the skate park. That was one of the things that they were talking about with the vent track, like taking their equipment to the skate park and blowing it off.
Taking their equipment to the trails.
And doing what?
I don't know. Do some heavy lifting, some dirt.
John doesn't believe in that, and I don't either at this point.
You don't believe in heavy equipment at the trails?
No, because they've never used equipment other than for the roll-in for Maine. At this point, it's a 20-year run of nothing but shuffles. I feel like...
Yeah, what is the roll-in? How'd they do that?
The dude that lives across the street has like a backhoe type deal, or a skid steer or whatever, one of those. One thing that sucks about going this way is that this light that we come to turn left,
It takes forever.
it seriously takes forever.
Do you ever just, I guess this is getting back to our traffic talk, but do you ever just get to the light, like, in the middle of nowhere, there's no one around, it's a red light, and you're like, why am I fucking waiting for this red light? And you just go?
No.
Really? Oh, that's like my favorite thing to do.
I feel too,
'Cause,
like, guilty and I'll get in trouble. Or, like, I'm the person who would do that, and then there'd be a cop, like, parked somewhere.
No, but I like, any reasonable person, like, even if it was a cop, like, sitting there, I'd be like, are you serious? Like, there's no, because I, like, do it, like, where I used to, or where I live is, like, middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'd be going to work at, like, 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning, or on a weekend. There's no one out there in the regular time, but, like, middle of the night, no one's around, and you're waiting at this red light. Like,
Well, that's different. You're talking 2 in the morning.
yeah,
I don't ever drive at 2 in the morning.
Oh, I do a lot, yeah. Well, I used to. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it like really during the day.
Yeah, like that's totally a different thing. That's funny. Yeah, definitely not doing
Yeah, we had a skid steer at our trails, and it saved us a lot of work, but it was still so much work. Like,
right.
But that was cool. Like, my buddy had a dirt bike track behind our trails, and he got pretty good with it, so he knew how to, like, he could build a landing.
Well, some of those guys that are good with those things can build it so that it's like ready to hit after they build it.
Yeah, he would pretty much do that with a landing. I mean, we'd still hit it a little bit, but, like, especially like the last landing, that you didn't have to hit another jump. It was like,
right, you just don't care and just jump it. Yeah, dude, this light literally takes like 5 minutes sometimes. It sucks. What else should we talk about, BMX-wise? You hate resis. You like tabletops.
They said they had some questions. It was like rails or trails, which I've only done 2 rails.
So obviously trails.
Yeah, I've done 1 down and 1 up. The up one was like twice as long as the down one.
Yeah.
So definitely trails. Rails are just like scary and they hurt too. I mean, I got hurt bad on trails too, but trails are awesome.
What's another good question? Like
the other one was like tables and tables versus turn downs.
Oh, you can't choose, can you?
Oh yeah, I can choose.
You pick tables.
Yeah, tables for sure. Turn downs are awesome, but like, and it's, you know, when you get like a really good one clicked in, it feels great.
Yeah.
And I could do turn downs like on anything. Like, I could almost like bunny hop turn down, but like I could do it like on street. I really don't. I don't do tables. Like I would never do a table like down a stair set.
Yeah.
Because it's like hard. And
it sounds like you're arguing for turn downs right now.
No, but like tables are like the best trick there is. It's just like that. This is a true thing. There was on Fuel TV back in the day. They had. Do you remember Fuel TV? Or I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I never had it, but I know what it is.
Yeah, it was on DirecTV. It was like obscure channel of all extreme sports before it went all like MMA shit now. Yeah, I think it's still around, but they had a show on the thing. It was called like Top 10 or something. Okay. And they would have like a topic, and it was like top 10 most iconic tricks in all of action sports, and the tabletop was number one. Like and this was like in all of action sports. So like surfing has like a trick, I forget what it's called. Like I don't know, it's like getting barreled or something.
Get pitted. So pitted.
But like, and then like skating had something, but the tabletop was number one. Like it's like the most classic like
that's
trick.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't think of any of the other ones.
I would say the same thing. I would say the table's the most iconic BMX trick of all time.
No, but it wasn't even BMX.
I understand.
It was all sports.
I understand, but if someone asked me that question, I would say that the table's the most iconic BMX trick of all time.
And that's the thing. Like, I always like joke like, if like someone like me who like only does tables, like no one's ever gonna hate on that person. But like if someone just did tail whips, they'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy can just do tail whips, he sucks. Like,
or someone
who just does tables, they're like, dude, that dude's rad, you know.
Or if someone just does ice pick stalls.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I can't think of the other ones.
Tables or turn downs.
What was it? Oh, it was like ice pick grind. Oh yeah, because Russ is like ex racer kind of dude. He was like, they were like ice pick grinds or manuals, and I definitely manuals because I can.
You can manual.
I can manual.
You can ice pick grind, just not obviously not the best.
Yeah.
How about that ice pick grind you made me do today?
Yeah, that we both did. Yours was actually better than mine. I couldn't believe I got mine because I was like, you guys were like in my way, and I just like kind of hucked it, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. But you like double pumped, like you pumped twice in it. It was like, damn, you were going slow, and it was just like locked in.
Maybe I should start.
Oh, and then we did that. Well, you didn't do the down rail.
I didn't pull it. I didn't pull it.
Mine was super solid. I was like, hell yeah.
Tried it 3 times, but didn't pull it. Maybe I should try and ice pick across the actual hubba a few times and see if I can get it.
Oh yeah, that's easy. I think I've done that. I know I could.
Because that felt, the one that I did after you said it in that Game of Bike, it just felt really good.
Was that in the Game of Bike? Yeah, so you can look at the video of it. It was solid. I can't think of any other questions. I like this versus that.
Well, and like, somebody was talking, obviously it's a little bit different for like someone like you in a podcast, but someone was talking, I think it was Dennis in his Feeble Talk was saying how like, or no, Fudger said it and Dennis agreed, but he's saying how they hate whenever someone just says the whole, like, alright, how'd you get started in BMX thing, you know? Like,
they hate that?
Yeah, he
says it's like the most cliche question.
He says
but
he skips past it super fast, and I was like, you know, that's kind of a thing. I like the idea of just like talking about real life stuff and just getting to know someone for more than BMX.
Yeah,
which I think is
cool. It's always a pretty interesting question though. Like, I don't know. I think
I like your story too because you started on a freaking aluminum race bike.
Well, no, I didn't actually. I had my first bike, and I don't know who I was just talking to about this the other day. Oh, it was someone in Chicago, but like my first real. I mean, I was jumping on like Magnas, they were called. It was like basically like a Kmart bike. My first bike. I was jumping on that. Yeah. A long time ago, and then like my first BMX bike, I bought from one of the kids that we were jumping with, and we had these like jumps in this pond or retention pond kind of area, and it was a Schwinn Powermatic Pro, which was like a legit bike. It was like pretty expensive. It had like actual 3-piece cranks.
Yeah.
Like not obviously profile style. It was like pitch bolt style, but they were legit, sealed and everything. But then it weighed like 50 pounds, you know, and I was like a little skinny shit like I am now. And I was gonna get a new bike because it was like the thing was pretty old and just like pretty ratty, and I was like, my mom was gonna buy me a new bike for Christmas, and I'm flipping through the dance comp, and it was right in the beginning of like, I don't know if it was like the beginning of the weight kind of thing, but I didn't know about like the weight thing, but I just saw like they were listing the weights of all the bikes, and I was like, okay, all these bikes are like, and it was like 35 pounds was like your standard, like, you know, cheap Bmx bike, and like Free Agent had some race bikes, and they, you know, they were race bikes. It was a steel frame was my first one, and it was like 26 pounds, and I was like, why would I get these 35 pounds when I can get this 26 pounds? So I got it, and it was just like the greatest thing ever. I was so fast, and like I just like learned bunny hops that day, and it was just like, okay. And then that's like what made me good. And like I just kind of like, I joke to people that like I invented the light bike craze, because I was just like, dude, light bikes help you a lot, especially like, I mean, I was like 12 or 13 or something, you know, just like real skinny. And
when would that have been? What year would it have been?
Like 02 or 03 maybe.
Wow, you started 4 years before I did.
Oh yeah. No, but like I said, I was already jumping before that. This
Yeah,
was like
you started way before I did.
So it was like, yeah, and I don't know, yeah, maybe 12, yeah. But so I had that Free Agent. It was like a Maverick. It was the steel one.
Yeah.
And I rode it so hard, it was just a piece of shit after the first year. And so the next year I got another complete bike, and this was like the same basic thing, a little bit nicer, but it had an aluminum frame.
Yeah.
And it was like maybe a pound lighter or something. So I rode that, and then the next Christmas I like tricked it all out with like nice wheels, which are super hard to find, 3/8, you know, hubs. Primo had a set of 3/8 like street hubs, you know, like not.
Oh, this is right at the beginning of 3/8.
Well, no, like race bikes all have 3/8. So I wanted to get some custom wheels for it, but all the wheels had 14mm.
That's what I'm saying, right at the beginning of 3/8 for freestyle.
Like,
obviously, if you couldn't get there was only a couple options.
Oh, they have 3/8 in the rear?
Oh, you mean the rear?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the front. Okay.
No, yeah.
Because when I started
3/8 front and rear.
Because when I started, my front hub that came on my complete was 14mm.
Oh yeah, that was a thing, I'm sure, for a while. But like, yeah, you don't need.
Okay, so you're talking about the rear. Okay.
Yeah, so it was hard to find. So I finally found one.
Profile?
Got it all together. No, it's Primo.
Well, I'm saying Profile probably had it then.
Well, Profiles would have been like really expensive. And,
right. I'm just saying.
Like a racing kind of thing too. So I wanted like something like durable. So I got these Primos, and then I ended up breaking the frame like that May or something, like at the trails, and then I went to like full on, like everyone else rides regular bikes.
A normal bike.
Yeah. But I did get a Grim Reaper, Eastern Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Which was really light, but.
See, I feel like that's the proper way to get into a how'd you start riding conversation. Not just like, all right, how'd you start? I remember you telling me a story about the dirt jumps in that pond thing before too.
Yeah. Well, it was like a retention pond, like, you know, just for like if there was a bunch of flooding, this would fill up, but it never filled up. Like I can't. You know, if it poured a ton, it would like get a little wet, but it wasn't, because we used to play baseball down there. Yeah, that was funny. Like we were all into baseball, and we played down there, and it was awesome because we had like a whole, like a legit, you know, diamond and everything.
Yeah.
And then we built jumps down there, and we called the jumps by like, because there was like no dirt or no grass over by first base, and no, you know, by the bases there was no grass. So we were like, well, we'll build the jump there. So the jumps were called like first base, pitcher's mound, second, third.
That's cool.
You know, and then we had like this like little wooden ramp built into the hill, because it was like, you know, it had like maybe 8-10 foot tall hills going down into the bottom. So like you drop down in and hit it. And it was like,
didn't you? I think, am I remembering right that it just like got torn down one day?
Yeah, it got torn down twice actually. Like, 'cause we built, the first time was with like the older kids in the neighborhood who got me like into like riding, and they were actually bigger then, and they got tore down because just like shitty neighbors and stuff. They were just complaining. And then like a couple of years later, probably like, I don't know, 2 or 3, and I don't think I really rode. Like, we might have just, we didn't really ride anymore after that, because like we didn't even know about street or park probably, and it was just like there was nothing to ride. So like I don't think we really rode. Like the older kids like were in high school by then, or I don't know, middle school or something. Yeah. And then a few years later, like me and all my close friends, we started building jumps there, and they were like smaller than they were, but it was still sweet. Like we just jumped them. And I remember the one day my buddy Andrew Elan came over, or he wasn't, this dude just rode by, and he came to, like, he dropped down into the bottom of the thing and hit our jump at, I still remember, at like the pitcher's mound jump, and he hit it backwards. And we were like, what the fuck? And he was just like, he was so good because he could like bunny hop good, and just like, and he like would do cans and like X-ups over shit. And we're like,
it's funny how your standards change over time.
And then like ever since he got there, it was just like, he like actually knew stuff, and his brother was really good, which we didn't get to ever see his brother ride, but like he knew shit, and like we just all like, that's when we started riding street and just like everything.
It's kind of crazy that like I've never had the experience of like building your own jumps and whatnot. I mean, obviously I built a little dirt hill in my backyard, and there was a dude who lived up the road from me who's like started to ish kind of ride, and he had a back like field thing behind his house, so I was just too scared to go ride at Apple Creek, so we built small jumps there that we never even really got to hit. We hit them like one time, that was it, and then never really. But other than that, like, I just had Apple Creek, so like I never had the experience of building a set of trails or anything like that, and like naming them, and
it sucks.
Ever worrying about them getting torn down. Like, I've had it good forever.
Yeah.
Go to Apple Creek and we're good.
About digging your own trails, it sucks. Like,
oh, I can imagine.
Flat ground, and you're like, all right, we're gonna build some jumps, because like this is what would happen, especially when we were really young in that first stop. We'd like stacking some dirt, be like, all right, yeah, that's pretty good. Then we just like pack it into a jump, and it'd be like a foot tall,
and don't even make it wide enough.
Yeah, super skinny and like short, and we're just like, yeah, this is sweet. Like, you can catch some air, and we just go big on it. But like, we're just like lazy, and we're just like impatient, and you know.
That's funny. Yeah, that's like, if I want to build something at Apple Creek, it's totally different than that. Like, it's actually a fun experience because I'm building and adding on to something that's already there. I don't know. I'm kind of glad that I never had to go through that. Got really lucky.
Yeah, then like for years, it was like years after that before I ever went to a skate park, because we had a skate park like 10 miles away, but like 10 miles for us was like
a billion miles.
Like, well, we wouldn't ride our bikes there until like I don't think it was until, no, it was in middle school. Sometimes we would ride our bikes there, but like, it was really far, and plus like in a car it would take a long time too, because it was like, you know, through cities kind of stuff. And
dude,
so
wow, that's crazy that you're riding before middle school, because I started in 8th grade. like the summer between 7th and 8th grade is when I started riding bikes.
Oh, yeah.
You got a lot more history in it than I do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you know people. That's why, like, you know videos too that I don't know about. That's why I think that this whole idea that I've been talking about of doing like a BMX history thing based on videos would be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to Matt Copeland's podcast, and I guess they're doing a thing right now because Profile's like 50 years old now.
Yeah, they've already.
Did you see that? Have you seen that? Yeah, it could have been like a year ago now, but it was like they were doing like a history thing.
Yeah, they called it Into the Dungeon.
Yeah, I guess I never saw it.
You should watch them because it's really cool.
Yeah.
They made a lot of them already. They've been coming out pretty steadily. I don't know if they're done or not.
I can't recall how old that Matt Copeland podcast was because I like watch them or I listen to them on BMX or Blood.
Yeah,
I don't know how old they are, like, because they talk about shit that's going on, but they don't say like what the date is, and I never pay attention, so I could be out of the loop on a lot of shit.
But yeah, they already came out, and they're really cool because he in the one that was actually really sweet was where he's showing prototype Hutch frames, because Profile actually made the first Hutch frames.
Yeah, he said there was 3 generations of Profile making frames.
Yeah, and
which is interesting.
What's funny about all this though is that Profile made the first Hutch frames before Hutch started doing it themselves. Then when Hutch went out of business, somebody went in and bought up all of the tubing stock. All of it. Then took that to Profile, which Profile then made under a different company's name, but it was Hutch frames. So there are unlabeled Profile Hutch frames out there.
Yeah, that's the other thing he said. They never put any serial numbers on it, so they don't know how many frames they made and like how many are out there. It's like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, that's kind of reminds me of it. I mean, obviously the Profile thing is like history of their company.
Yeah.
But
just like talking about videos and people that people wouldn't necessarily know about.
Yeah.
I think that could be a really good educational thing for kids. And I feel like that could like completely inspire people to try completely different stuff than they ever would have even thought about.
Yeah.
It could help usher in the mid-school, new school.
Yeah.
Which is, I really just, man, I want brakes to come back.
Yeah. Maybe if I get my wheel fixed, I'll put some brakes on.
Yeah, your back wheel's pretty wobbly.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it, mostly. And like I guess I don't take.
Is that the one that Paul rebuilt, or was that your other front?
Oh, he rebuilt the front one.
Okay, that's.
But then it got bad, really bad, and then I just bought a new wheel.
Yeah, I saw you had that new wheel.
Yeah, shitty front wheel I got. It's solid though. It's been straight. I don't think I have any missing spokes.
The Odyssey hubs seem to be really good. At least the front ones. I don't know about the backs.
Yeah, I like that female. Well, yeah, I like that female hub on the front. But.
And then the Quadra rim that you have on there is like their budget rim option.
Yeah.
Which is, it's not a welded seam. But on the front, I think it's probably no big deal. I had one on the rear, and it was separating at the seam.
Yeah, I was going to get a Odyssey hazard light again.
Those are solid.
That's what I always
You get an alienation rim.
Yeah. I just don't like that one. That one.
Because I don't know how to take my tire off properly.
Dude, that was like the hardest thing I've ever
No,
done.
you just didn't break the bead all the way around like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
It's easy when you do it right.
But do you know if our... There was an option. I was going to order shit on Albies.
Alps.
I always say Alps. We always said Alps back by us.
That's funny.
But there was brass nipples or alloy nipples.
Alloy are the bad ones. Don't get alloy nipples.
Alloy were more expensive.
And because they came in colors and stuff. Alloy ones are not good. Brass nipples are good. Alloy will strip out and go bad.
Well, alloy is aluminum. Brass, I think, is a little bit harder than aluminum. So.
Yeah, you definitely want the brass ones.
And I was gonna get the DT because those are like the good ones. They're like 75 cents a piece, which is outrageous, but they're probably
whatever.
Because like then they have those other ones that are like 30 cents, but I'm like, no, just get the good spokes. Like I was thinking, you know, I mean, I guess it's kind of shitty to cut out Elmies, but like if I could just call them up and be like, hey, send me this, I'll pay you whatever, you know.
Odyssey?
Yeah.
You can order stuff on their website.
Odyssey. Oh, you can.
Directly from Full Factory, I'm pretty sure. And Odyssey.
Yeah.
Which puts more money into Odyssey's pocket.
Yeah. My current Odyssey Hazard Light, which I've had for probably...
Also Alienation.
10 years.
I can't stop saying Alienation right now.
Well, my current one has like 3 huge gouges taken out of it because I tried doing like it was like at a skate park.
Curved ledge feebles will mess up a rim too.
Oh no, I was doing an up rail ice pick and I kept like messing up and just my wheel would get chunked.
It's crazy how that works.
By the tip of the rail.
Like you never would think that could happen.
And they're like razor sharp, like little pricks hanging off.
Yeah, dude. That's like, you would never think that a rim could get hit that way to cut stuff out of it.
Because I'm not good at ice picks, and I really focus on trying to like get my wheel close.
That's the thing though, but I've chunked out my rim too the same way, just because certain setups, when you mess up a certain way, it just sends your rim onto it perfectly enough to mess it up.
Yeah, what sucked is I didn't know that I was, like I knew I kept missing this up ice pick, but I thought I was just like, I thought my peg was like hitting the end of the rail. And I was like, I just gotta hop a little higher. I did it 3 times before I realized, and I was getting like, kind of worked on this. And I'm like, and then I looked at it, I'm like, what the fuck? And it was like a shitty skate park. It was not even gonna be a cool up ice pick. And I was just like, man, this sucks. And then right after that is when I did that fence hop.
Oh, okay.
That was at a different park, but I was at 2 new skate parks.
So we're getting pretty close to my house. I feel like we need to wrap this up. Brian, tell people they can follow you at, I won't make you tell them, I'll tell them for you. They can follow you on Instagram at bhoreckles. That's BHORECKLES. Anything else to say before I close it out?
There's a lot of pressure here.
Tabletops, foot jams, and manuals.
Yeah, just keep doing whatever you want to do and have fun, I guess. I don't know.
Word. So let us know in the comments of this if you enjoyed this, and I should do this more, even though I don't really ride to skate parks with people very often right now. It'll happen more when it warms up. So it could happen. Let us know if we should do another podcast with Brian, but with video, because I think that would be fun. And it'd be good. If you're new, subscribe. If you like it, share it with a friend. And I guess we won't see you. We can't see you right now, but we might see you next time. So goodbye.